Greetings and welcome back to another episode of a little Let's Play series that we have our village down by the river. In a village down by the river. Throwback to Chris Farley there. So, let's see here. I've got nothing but end of the season ahead of us here, right? Like, that's where we're at. We're at the point where we're getting to the end of the season. It's time to start thinking about making that cash and also being ready for winter. But we are ready for winter is the thing. So in the last episode, got all of the clothing that we needed. So that's set. And this time around, my goal was to head over here, and I wanted to see how many feathers I had left over. I have no feathers. So we are out of feathers, and I was doing some comparisons, looking at whether it's worth making copper knives, or whether it's better to make copper arrows. And copper arrows, we'll do a little quick comparison is what we'll do. Now, the problem with having copper arrows is that it requires feathers, and I decided to make a whole bunch of stone arrows, didn't I? Well, that means that I don't have any feathers anymore, darn it. So that means that we have to go get more. And it turns out that ducks have feathers. So we're going to get some ducks. Now, this is going to be a little awkward, though, because it's underwater time. Glub, 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 glub. There we go. Oh, temperature warning. It's not winter yet. We'll be fine. Oh, we're actually swimming. Holy cow. We were actually swimming. It wouldn't even let me use my my bow. Nice. I haven't had that happen yet. In too deep a water to use the bow. Nice. Oh, no, there were duck bites the dust. Duck! That's unkind. Anyway. Let's get these ducks. We shall harvest some feathers off these ones. And then we can build a whole bunch of arrows. Now, the reason for the arrows, I'm pretty sure are quicker to construct. And they're probably worth more. You make a stack of 10 too, which is not terrible. So when you're making them, you get a decent sized stack. Got it. Tell you what, after all the shenanigans with the deer, shooting these duck is starting to make me feel like I actually have a chance. Blub, 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 blub. Don't mind me, just swimming underwater, skinning ducks. Or meat. It's definitely not the way you're going to get all the meat. It's definitely not the most effective way to get meat, but it is an effective way to get feathers, that's for sure.
I should better warm myself up.
That's not a bad idea, buddy. Requires knife. Oh dear. We ran out of knives. Actually, the stone knife is done? Yeah, darn. Didn't even notice the stone knife break. But sure enough, time to find some stones, it turns out. Now, it is going to be important for us to start focusing on the end of the season type of jobs here, and this is just a part of getting things taken care of, but it's worth noting that we do have some other tasks that have to be done before the end of the season. I'm not going to worry about selling stuff right now before the end of the season, since we are going to have nothing but time on our hands come the winter time. It's going to be a whole lot of just build and sell. So that's going to be my plan for wintertime. Build, sell, get things going. A lot of smelting and a lot of mining, I would guess, too. So that's what we have ahead of us. Now, unfortunately, I cannot find my ducks so well right now. I was hoping that I would be able to find it by doing find the arrow, and wherever my arrow is definitely where my duck is. But I am not seeing the duck. Oh no, lost the duck. 10 feathers down. And a couple of meats. And time. Oh well. It is what it is. Look at us go. Schwimmin'. Eternal breath, apparently. Well, darn. Oh well. It was worth a shot. Back to shore. Some sticks. And also a plan to go check out where things are at with the fields. The next most important thing for us to take care of, arguably the more important thing, honestly, if I had to prioritize things, I want to be absolutely clear that the arrows are really just me doing a quick comparison to see what's the better move. Do we build the knives? Do we build the arrows? And go ahead and leave comments as you see fit. And if you have a good idea on it, yeah, what's worked for you? And I'm going to do a quick analysis of it while we're here before the end of the season. I want to look into what's the gain we're getting for skill, and then how does that compare to the cost benefit to it. How many resources it takes, and what, oh nice. How many resources it takes, and then, you know, time it takes to build, and beyond that, whether it's worth having the feather issue, since for the arrows we have to have 1 feather per arrow, so that's 10 arrows, that's 10 feathers, only 2 copper, which is going to be the same as the knives. Now the sticks, yeah, 1 stick per arrow, which means that right now copper knives are winning as far as supplies are concerned. They sell for 90. The copper arrows, as I recall, I think I saw 12 when I last looked, which means it's 12 for each one. Stack of 10 means 120, which is 30 more than the knives. And having the sticks on hand makes that definitely easier and less of a concern. But not having the feathers on hand is a pain in the rear, since that's going to hold me back from being able to do anything with any of this. So that's the real cost-benefit analysis that's going into this. I wanted to get that stuff set up over here for her so that she can finish the work by the end of the season. I am missing a couple spaces in my farm plot. You may have noticed that those are 9x4s, not 8x4 plots. So that was a boo-boo on my part. I didn't realize I had gone 1 over. So I actually have 36 plots, not 32. That means I'm short fertilizer. Actually, that does bring up an interesting question. Am I actually short fertilizer? Yeah, I definitely am. I thought maybe we had some still in here. No, no indeed. There is more rye grain. She's currently planting it. She's got 37. That means it's going to be doable. There's plenty of bags. There's only 1 stone axe left. That's a significant problem. We have no straw. We have plenty of hose for the people who are working. There we go. A new level in farming. I'll take it. Got to make some axes because I do not want to run out of lumber. It is probably the more important job on the place right now, and as I said in the previous episode, I am so tempted to build that second wood chopper's hut, the woodcutter's hut, sorry, because that means I would be getting more logs, more wood resources, and for the early part of the game, that's really an important resource just to have. And honestly, a lot of the decorating that's going to happen, a lot of the walls that are going to happen over time that I want to build, all of these things require logs. So realistically, the thing I need the most of is logs. It's log. 19 logs is just not sufficient. I do want more. So I do believe that that's probably going to be a move that we do. This wintertime, we're going to make another hut, woodcutter hut, and have it be worked. Now this is an entertaining thing. The extraction hut, I did not realize. Oh, we do have a skill point in farming to spend, so let's go there. I can whistle to summon my mount. That's not going to matter for quite a while, so we're going to go with farming knowledge for now. Matter of fact, we're going to do it twice, so we're maximizing how much gain and skill we get. I was surprised to find that when you go into management for the building, so we click here, we're in management, and I went down to extraction, went to my excavation shed, and if I press F to open details, I'll go over to the hammer symbol with the, looks like an arrow going in a circle, and my character can get copper ore based upon the location. I found that interesting. I was thinking, I don't remember that being a thing. That's pretty cool. But when I put 10% in there, the most I'm going to get is 0.32 per day, and that's really just not worth it. So this is just, it's an option that you can have with this particular shed, but it's not looking like it's worth it. Right now I have them working on getting clay because we will need clay later on. I'm just having this passively gain so that when we need it, we have it sitting there. And stone, because there's always a need for a little more stone, even though honestly, I just should not have them working on stone. I get about 6 stone for every node that I mine. So that's really not hitting right now. I'm not seeing that as a really beneficial thing to do. I don't want to mine the limestone. That's really why I built this thing. Should just focus on that. So now getting about 11 per day is pretty good in my opinion. Matter of fact, I want to get 12 per day. And the reason I want to get 12 per day, I just want to not have to think about gaining those resources. I want to be able to insulate our houses. That gets a nice upgrade to things, makes them look nice, and we're going to need a lot. We will need a lot of limestone to do that. Pardon me, slipping in my speech. Alright, this is the time where we start doing some comparisons. Now, I do have him working on... I want to do a quick analysis of things. Analysis. Let's see here. How long do we have before the day ends? If we go into the map, we can see the time. 15 is 3:04. We still have a lot of time before the end of the day is here. But there's no way we're going to take advantage of that time and actually accomplish anything off-site. So with the time that's left, I'm thinking that we just double check and make sure we did not make any mistakes and forget to turn in a quest. I wouldn't mind having a couple more feather sets to get arrows. I would not mind. I don't want to mine at this point. I mined a lot. Matter of fact, one of the big things about getting here as fast as possible and mining out of that place as fast as possible, it won't be something you can see now. It's at 97. I had 160, I think it was, 160 copper ore sitting in here because of just me going in and getting more stone to build. And in the process of going for the stone, we've gotten a lot of tin ore, 55 of that, but I focused more on the copper ore. And since I've had 2 seasons already to do this, I have just stacked with copper right now, which is very handy and makes it so that we're going to be making lots of money come this winter. I did want to take down this house, and I don't think anybody's in it. Is that right? I have just moved to that house. That explains what that does. Helga lives here. Cool. Where do I live then? Uh-oh. Where's my house? Is this my house? The little thing right here? Look at this little thing. Let's assign this to player. I would like not to be... I don't want to live in the old wattle house that we're about to take down. What's going on here? No way. It looks like we have everybody set. I live in a small simple house. That's going to change. These fields are gone, and the reason for it is that I want to expand this house. Does that mean we will never build anything here? Or never have a garden there again? Well, not necessarily. But I do certainly want to change the setup here and have a little more space for a better house. Hey, it finally did it. Now, that's the first time it automatically equipped the hammer to the right spot. We did get the skill, and that's under building, that allowed us to take insulated wood for... Oh no, that's not the one I'm looking for. There we are, Master of Destruction. That was under extraction. This allows us to recover resources from destroying structures. It's not the most important thing in the world for the thatch and things like that, but I do just not want to... I don't want to have to deal with gathering up all these resources again, and it's not bad. I also needed a level 2 skill and to unlock the level 3 skills, so really, it wasn't a bad thing. And I figure over time, we're going to start with our level 1 structures, and we'll be upgrading them. Well, that means that this will, over time, matter. We will need to rebuild. We can build it better, stronger, faster. We can build a house that's amazing. Let's offset you right to the wall. Maybe close to the wall, right about there. And then we can think about having some things back there. Only 5 stone, that's not going to do. Now, that being the case, is it worth getting some limestone out of these regions? Sure, why not? Is this the efficient way to get there? Not even close. Only 1 stone. 2 limestone that time. That's a lot more than usual. Usually it's just 1 for me. And that's alright. Let's go up here. It's going to be quick and easy to gather stones here faster. So we will do that. to save ourselves a little bit of time. And as we do this, thinking about next season with winter, already have all the gear for it. I think we're in a great spot to be through the first year, except for the money. And that's the one thing that I'm sitting on that I'm slightly concerned about, since our taxes are not going to be low. We will definitely be paying quite a bit in taxes, given how many buildings we've decided to have. It'll be worth it. We'll get there. We'll be fine. How's she doing? I do need to know if I need to take over and make sure that this gets done. She's already at the point where she will finish that job. That's fantastic. It's good news. That means we are set for the season's end. Perfect. Alright, the rest is just gravy. Let's just finish things up. That being the case, we will have this house started. I don't know if I'm going to fully complete this in the time that we're here. I think the thing I want to do is I want to see him be off duty. When he's off duty, that means that it's time to start doing some comparisons on what's actually the better move. Is it better to make the arrows because it gives us better money as long as we have the feathers, and just as good of technology boost, and about the same resource cost when it comes down to it? Since feathers are not a big deal, we can easily get access to feathers. And sticks are just no question. There's just no issue with it. We will have access to sticks. So I don't consider those a resource worth worrying about or worth considering when doing this comparison, since it's fairly simple to get them. If it meant costing more copper, this wouldn't even be a debate. It'd be done. The one that costs less copper is always going to be the one I would go with. Just because that's the resource that's the most limiting for us and takes the most time to get. And all of the stuff that I harvested off that previous house is done. Gone. Used up. We'll just jump on back here. Get a few things. That symbol's new. Farming is the new symbol. That's a new one for me. In the upper left, I see something that says 1 farming, and I believe that means that we have one farmer who does not have a field to work. And that's fine. Season's ending. Not a big deal. Okay, from here, I don't need the water bucket. Probably should have put that in the other spot. Lots of feathers, fantastic. The mead bottles are taking up space. Meat and roasted meat, there's the thing. All the not the best move. Don't want to get rid of all the sticks. We're about to build with some of those. Let's keep 70. We'll come back. We'll do more. Stone arrows, I really should think about getting rid of those. Since now that we have copper arrows, it's going to work a lot easier for us. We'll do slightly more damage, which is a win. I do want to be in that position. I did unlock the bird trap, which I do need to start setting out more of those. Or did I? And I forgot that I did not. Yeah, absolutely. Did unlock it, just haven't put any out yet because stone. Go figure. Alrighty, when we do this, getting the bird trap, the reason for the bird trap that is because we can gain feathers on a quick basis and survival skill rather quick. It would have been something that, looking back, hindsight, I would definitely like to have unlocked that quicker. I would like to have been using those bird traps right from as soon as I had access to it. That way I was upgrading my survival skill as quick as possible, getting those extra points, and unlocking the technologies for those buildings as well. And this is another passive way to do it. I mean, I say passive in the sense that it's not, you don't need to maintain yourself doing it. Just come back, check a trap, great. Every time you check a trap and there's something in it, you gain the feathers, and you also gain the experience and technology unlocks. You don't have to do anything to make that happen. Just make the trap and then walk away. We'll set up a couple of those out, depending upon how they did the limiting on it. I'm not honestly sure about that. Because before, you used to have a limit and you had to upgrade it. Let's see here. We'll put it somewhere really obvious to see. That's handy. Traps limit exceeded. Okay, so I can only have one. Oh, they made it look cooler. Nice. They've definitely improved the design. It's not just one single stick and one single rock where it's just, alright, bird, smash. Alrighty. Nobody is working currently. this is where we wanted to be. Now we need to go look at our technology. And this is going to be under production. We're at 75.2. 75.2. Do we have copper on us? That would have been the other item. I have 8 copper bars. Fantastic. So for our comparison, we are, for production, just to verify, still at 75.2. Alrighty, let us make some copper arrows. Now that takes looking like 2.5 to 3 seconds. So that takes only 3 seconds to build. It's worth more. 75.6. So that's a 0.4 increase for a very low time frame. Copper knives. 8 seconds. That's significantly more. So that's a concern, because now that means that we're going to cost more time making these and have to wait. And it does take a long time for a worker to take care of them. We're at 76.5. Oh. Nice. That's a much bigger jump, isn't it? And then I just realized that in the process of me doing that, I have already forgotten what that first number was. So what do we have to do? We have to make a knife again. But you know what we're going to do first? Tell you what, this is how you work with how your brain works. We're going to write this down. So 75.6. I can't believe that. Can't hold a thought. Sometimes brain works amazing, sometimes not so amazing. Silly. And y'all already know how much it is. You probably heard that and you're just like, boom, done, got the number. Like, nice, good show, y'all. And here I am sitting here just being like, wait, what? What now? I figured. I thought it was 9. That was going to be my guess. It was around 9, and it is indeed 9. Okay, so that's a jump of 0.9. The feathers are a jump of 0.4. This is a jump of 0.9. So I'll get more technology by doing the knives, and it costs less resources. Ooh, that is tricky. The copper arrows I do want, obviously, because I want to hunt with them, and I want to be sure that I have enough to fire off, because I'll miss a lot, and that's just a thing. But I do think that, honestly, I'm probably going to build the knives, and the reason for it is the technology side of things. I do want to get the profit on it, yeah, and yeah, the arrows do sell for more, totally, they do, 100%, absolutely do. But the gain in technology is much better, and I want those technology points to get us further along so that we can get the next level of our smithy and continue up the track to getting much, much better things. So I'm willing to use this as a cost and deal with the fact that that's a time cost to give us a benefit in the technology. So that's where I'm going to go with it. Honestly, I don't know if that's going to be the right call or not, but it's what I'm making as a call right now. Feel free to leave some thoughts in the comments below, what your consideration was going back and forth on it. So thinking about the ways to make money in the game, there are a lot of really easy ways at the start. Making simple bags really makes sense as a way to go. Since it only costs 1 leather now, that's a big deal. That's so much less than it used to be. It's totally viable to do that now. You could, I mean, with 1 deer, you're making multiple bags, and they're selling for good money. When we were in that mill that got taken over and was selling flour, that kind of brings to mind the idea that it may not be a bad idea. It brings to mind that getting to the point where you can actually make flour may be worthwhile in an early sense, where can I get to planting wheat in the first season, or can I not get to wheat in the first season, that very first spring? I decided to go with flax and just get the beetroots done, and I did not spend a lot of time doing farming related work. Spent a lot more time mining, which here we are now. This is the payoff from that. I'd be curious what would have been the better move. Was it better for me to do the extracting and getting the copper out so that I'm sitting here with this huge bank of copper ore that I'm now working through, and I'll be able to sell as copper knives and use as copper arrows? Or would it have been better to get that farming setup done first so that we would have these large fields, have a huge collection of wheat right off the bat and be able to make flour, and I don't think there's much we can do with the flour for baking at this point. I don't think that's an unlock that we get early on. I believe making breads out of flour comes much later on. So I'd be curious about that. Plus we would have been upgrading our farming skill, which would have allowed us to unlock different animals, which is a bigger deal. It did unlock the chicken coop. That's going to happen. Definitely have a spot planned out for where the chickens are going to go. We're going to put it right next to one of those houses. We'll have... There we go, a new level in production. That's fantastic. A new level of production. So I'm thinking one of these two houses is going to be the house that has chicken in the backyard. Chicken coop. We'll put some fencing around it. Wow, these are way farther apart than I believe I thought they'd be. So we're going to do some fancy work with this to make the angles make some sense. That's regrettably far apart. That makes me sad. Oh dear.
I just don't like conversations about the weather,
Crops,
animals,
children,
children,
politics.
work.
I'll come back and talk with you later. Thank you. You have a good rest of your day. Alright, well, let's get that skill set. Production, and we've already maxed out crafting knowledge. Sewing knowledge and cooking knowledge, not a bad idea. More experience gained from cooking and sewing. It's not a bad idea, since for the cooking knowledge, that would make some sense. I will end up cooking a bunch, since at the end of the seasons, like I did before, if you have a huge stack of raw meat, I'll just run through them. Another thing to do with them too would be to take the roasted meat that we know is going to be really low quality next season, and then use that roasted meat to make something else, like say soup, I think, or maybe it was meat with gravy. You need a lot of onions though is the trick, so that'll cost to do that. But we do gain some skills, and we get some free food, and you lose that quality level. It turns into a new value once you make it, so that's handy. Or at least you used to. We'll find out if I'm wrong shortly. Faster crafting in the workshop and the smithy. I do like that idea, and why not? Slower durability, nah. We'll go for that. We'll unlock our third level first point in tier 3, and then I think I would really like to start Builder's Trance, because I do appreciate building faster. It takes a long time to build. We're going to do a lot of building. I would definitely like that to go faster. So that's a spot that I've been looking forward to be at, and we're going for it. Eat some more food. It's just going to sit in my inventory and go bad anyway. Probably should drop things off in storage and finish up this night. What I'll probably do next, and I really don't think it's worth anybody watching, is I'll make those copper knives into the night to get some more technology unlocked and move on from there. Oh, dried figs. Nope, you don't want to do that. Dried figs is actually a luxury item. I was treating it like it was a food item. A little bit of yeah, a little bit of no with that one. Yeah, we definitely want to keep that one in our storage, probably in our house, so we can take advantage of that. Berry wine as well, since we can sell that for a good amount. Alright, I'm just kind of curious. I'm going to put it in my storage. The reason for putting the dried figs here is I don't want it to be treated like a food and then actually lower in quality, because then I lose my value that I could sell. But it's dried, so I'm guessing it stays. We shall see. Thanks for sticking around for this episode. I hope you enjoyed. Now we're at a spot where we are going to expand what we already have. We've done a quick analysis of what the benefits are of manufacturing, since we're going for money through manufacturing this one. And we have the fields ready to go. Thanks for your time. I hope you have a wonderful day.